And today I find myself in Madera Canyon, which is an offshoot from a place called Green Valley down here in southern Arizona. I'm here to pick up what I believe to be a 1975 Ford LTD. I don't know a whole lot about these cars, to tell you the truth, but I'm pretty sure it's a 75 from what I looked up. 75, 76, very similar body styles. But the reason I'm down here to pick this up is because my friend Bailey, he was paid to basically clear this property off. They're selling this property and they're getting rid of this trailer and they're taking it off to the dump. And this car was just here on the property and the owner said, just get it out of here for free. So I got it for free and we're gonna see if we can get it running and driving again. There's no title, there's no keys. It is truly abandoned out here in the middle of the desert here in southern Arizona. These cars were kind of neat. They got the quad headlights, nice big old chrome bumper. But this is probably one of the worst I've ever seen. Talk about pack rats. This is, usually they nibble some wires, they get in the interior, but this is crazy. This has been here for at least 20 years. I can tell you that right now. I don't even know what's beneath there. Not even sure what engine the car has in it, tell you the truth, but um, got a radiator hose. let's just check the antifreeze, you know what I mean? Let's just see. Oh, rad cap came off. Look at those stalactites in there. What in the world is that? I've never even seen that. I mean, it doesn't look like it was taken apart or wrecked or anything. It looks like it was literally just parked, because you can see like the radiator overflow. It's going to that. You know what I mean? So they didn't even start using it as a parts car. Can tell you it had air conditioning. That is the A6 compressor. General Motors used that for years, and it was such a good compressor. Ford kind of low-key said, man, that's pretty good. Let's put that on our cars. So that actually was originally on General Motors applications. I know that. We have a coil with the plug wire ate off. Oh, there's the cap. There's all the wires. None of those wires probably make it to the plugs. Here's your air conditioning HVAC box there, where all the AC lines go. Got an air cleaner. There's the alternator. Can see that. Here's a battery. Let's disconnect that. Don't want to short something out. Coming in the car, well, there's no windshield, and that was busted out, which kind of sucks. But it looks like there's brand new tires in here. I don't know how old they are. Tires have a lifespan out here for sure. Even if you don't use them. I've seen vehicles with brand new tires, but they're 20 years old and they're dry rotted and you can't even use them. So. Got manual windows. We got power door locks. We got an ashtray. Can't quite get that open. Looks like we got manual seats. If it had power, it would probably be the driver's seat that would have power. But yeah, see, look. Maybe brand new, but still really not worth much. Doors open. Yeah, I don't know what any of this is. Just luggage, storage, 5-gallon thing of water. Oh, look at that old TV. Is that one of those old 90s TVs or whatever? Those ones are like 700 pounds. It looks like somebody tried to get in the trunk. I don't know why you would need to do all that. All you would have to do is drill the lock out. You don't have to take a grinder, plasma cutter to the trunk. That's crazy. But look at the back. I mean, it's like kind of straight. It's got the lenses in the back, or reverse lenses. It's got the bumper. Let's see here. Montana. That's weird. Montana. 97, the year I was born. Last registered in 97. So I'm 28, so that makes it 28 years it's been sitting at least. Sometimes people keep vehicles registered even though they have them parked. So we're going to say 28 to 30 plus years. I don't know. What is that? Filler neck. Tires are rotted out, flat. Those are totally gone. I hope that they kind of hold air. I brought a tire air machine. Hopefully they hold air. We can actually get it on the trailer. Let's see what it's got on here for mileage, which I'm not sure if it matters at this point. 49,356. Look at that. It is one of those big old TVs. I haven't seen one of those since I was a little kid. Oh my gosh, hole in the floor. Wow. Got another old battery. Thing of detergent, luggage. Remnants of a vinyl top. It didn't rot out the roof though. Usually these vinyl tops soak up water and they just go right here. You see holes right here. That's, oh, it's the worst part for them to rust, but I don't see that. It's just been sun-baked to death. Before I leave, I'm kind of hoping I can take some of this stuff out of the vehicle so I don't have to deal with it at my house. Maybe they can take it to the dump. Can I offload some of this? Huh? Some of the stuff in the car? We can toss in the dump. We can toss in the dump? Yeah, yeah. Okay, thanks. All of it if you want. Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's full. Oh, I know. Full. I left it just for you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for leaving. It's just how I like to find them. Bailey didn't touch a thing. He's like, I left it all just for you. Thank you. So we're going to have to figure out two things in order to get this thing loaded. Actually, three. One, how the heck do I get my truck in here? Because this is not really a good angle to load it. I could get to it from here, but I don't want to pull it up on the trailer backwards and load it backwards. I want the front forwards. So we might have to pull it out or pull it to another position. I have to see if these tires air up. And this has a steering wheel lock, and we don't have, sorry, there's a lot going on around here. There's a steering wheel lock. If you can't, oh, it already looks like somebody tried to mess with the key switch. Got to get it in neutral. That's my point. Yeah, already looks like somebody's been there, done that. These radial tires are from '04. I just looked at the date code. So, 21 years old, these things ain't worth nothing. So I got the inside as clean as I could get it with the license plate, scraping everything out. Look at that. Actually can see the floor and the seat. On the passenger side, I took a lot of the shattered glass out as much as I could. You know, it's weird. This is the only floor that looks like it's rotted out. Maybe it's because the mice peed there or the water pooled there. But that floor looks beautiful. Look at that floor. Still paint and everything. This one's totally gone. Wires hanging down and everything. It's kind of weird. And in other news, the only tire I could get to air up was this one. All the other ones wouldn't take air at all. They're way too dry rotted. I found another battery. I'm keeping these. This is good shop towel material, and then that's a good core for something. You can exchange these at O'Reilly's for $10 a piece, so it's not bad. Yeah, they'll give you a gift card for $10 for each car battery you bring in. So I present to you our next nightmare. Gonna see if we can get some of this out of here. Gonna have to get my pry bar or something and just start digging, literally. I'm not even gonna try and pick it out with my hands. So many thorns and everything, all the cactus they drag in here. It's just, you put your hand in there once, it's done for days. That's a kind of ominous. A baseball bat, rope, a briefcase. I feel like this guy knew a guy who knew a guy. Look, and he was carrying around an extension cord. This dude was up to no good. I had to jack it up, put it on wood blocks, get under there, and unhook the shift linkage from the transmission to get it into neutral. Should be able to pull it somewhere where I can get on it straight, because we're kind of on a curve right here. So I was here for like 6 hours cleaning this thing out and trying to load it. I was trying to pull it to where I could load it front first, not back first, but tires are flat and it's just in the dirt, so I had to load it how I could load it. So I got the Ford LTD back to the house. Still some things that we need to do to it before we can actually take it off the trailer. One of those things is to clean the engine bay. I have a shop vac, have a couple of gardening tools, shovel, this, some gloves. Gonna try and clean this up a lot more. Try and get everything out of here I can, and then pressure wash it at the very end. And before we can get it off the trailer, we still have to do tires. It's a lot harder to jack a car up in the dirt to do tires. It's such a nightmare. So I'm gonna switch the tires off on the trailer, and then we can get it off. And I still have the Fly and Drive 94 Cummins in here that I'll back out, but it's so nice I wanted it in the shade. It's a clean truck. If you haven't watched the video where we drove this 1,100 miles from Encampment, Wyoming to Tucson, you need to go check that out. Had to put an injection pump on it in the field and everything. It was crazy. So let's get after this mess. A couple interesting things I found out about these is that the LTD was made from 1965 to 1986, and it moved the Ford range up market, offering options that were previously only reserved for Lincoln and Mercury. And for much of its production life, it competed against the Chevy Caprice. And for the first 3 generations of the LTD, it was the largest Ford vehicle made in North America. In 1986, the midsize LTD was replaced by the Ford Taurus, as Ford was trying to get into more front-wheel drive vehicles. And fun fact about the term LTD, nobody knows what it means. It's starting to look a lot better now. I can actually see down to the ground. You can actually see some spark plugs. You can actually see your control arms. You can see what looks to be a voltage regulator. You can see all the air conditioning stuff. Actually see what resembles a carburetor, alternator, fan. I looked at the tag on the other side of the engine, and this is a 400. Yeah, you couldn't even see down to the ground, and I still have some to clean. There's some stuff that's hard to reach with a screwdriver or a vacuum, like some of that, and some of this stuff down here. And I've been trying to get it down to the trailer and then sweep it off that and then get it in the trash can. Trash can was pretty much empty. So I got the engine bay pretty much as clean as I think I can get it. Most of that stuff is out of there now. Now I'm going to try and do the tires. I got 2 of them over here. I got a set of used tires from this tire shop called U-Tire in Tucson. A little old, but they got good tread and they're not dry rotted. They're flexible, so they'll be hopefully easy to bead. So let's get these things changed out. There we go. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. 2 good pops. 2 good pops. There we go. What? After days of fighting this thing, we finally have it out of the dirt, out of the sun, in the shop, where we can actually see, what the condition of this engine is. And I haven't opened this air cleaner yet because I wanted to see if it had an air cleaner in it and what was in there. Yeah, I'm very surprised because that's the only thing that I think saved that carburetor, because there's nothing on the top of the carburetor. The mice obviously love to burrow in hidden places, and they make their way in here. And if there's no air cleaner, they can get right into the top of the carburetor. But because of this little guy, they weren't able to actually get in there. I would have thought this would have been full with all the stuff that was in the engine. I can't believe that this is all that's in there. But I don't think they knew at the time that putting this wire mesh around these air filters was the best thing they could have done, because the mice would have loved to eat that right up. They would have got right through, but that wire mesh is the only thing that saves. You guys see that? What the heck is that? Why is this cut? Look at that. Why would somebody do that? I've never seen that before. I did pressure wash the engine yesterday after I vacuumed it, sprayed it out. So it's as clean as I think I can get it. We have all thorns are pretty much out, which was the goal. Let's see here. Look at that. Accelerator pump. Cool. Now we can actually check some fluids. Never did check oil. It's got oil. Transmission. Full. Let's check the brakes just to see. Full to the brim. Whoa. Wow. That's crazy. It's full. Both reservoirs. I didn't expect that, honestly. It's like totally complete under here. Belts and everything. So after taking the spark plugs out, I decided to get my little borescope tool out and check these cylinders out. I was pretty surprised at what I saw. So a lot of the cylinders, well actually all of them, had carbon buildup on the pistons, which is to be expected. But look at those cylinder walls. They're all the same. Like this one's too hard to see. It's right up at the top, but it's, carbon buildup and normal. But the cylinder walls aren't rusty. They're not pitted. There's nothing weird in there. Like nothing got down into the engine. Look at that. I mean, that is nice. That's totally what you want to see, which I'm surprised there's not even any flash rust or anything like that. So this is a really, really, really good sign, and we can continue forward. So here's the spark plugs for this side. They don't look too bad, actually. A little bit dirty, but not bad. One of them, this one, look at this one. That one was burning right. And then the ones on the other side I took out. These definitely look cleanable. I don't see any cracks in the porcelain. These ones look the same. Then you had this one. This one was burning hot, burning good. Alright, we're going to get down here on the crank and see if we can get a little bit of action. Look at that. Alright, it's not locked up. Yeah, it's good, it's good. The cylinders looks good. We'll shoot a little bit of PB down the cylinders, just for some luck. Should be good enough for now. So I'm going to clean these spark plugs. As I'm cleaning them, I'm just looking at the porcelain and everything, because one time Emily's Jeep had a misfire through a code, but it would like misfire and then it wouldn't. Like an idle, it'd be all right, and then you'd put it in gear, put your foot on the brake, and kind of hit the gas, and under a load, it would misfire. Well, it turned out that one of the spark plugs had a crack in the porcelain, and spark plugs act differently under load, which is kind of interesting. So under a load, it would arc through that porcelain and not get down to the plug and cause a misfire. Get this old battery out, put another one in, see what comes on. I don't know what to do with this thing. Set her there. There we go. Nothing. Oh, look at that, dude. Wow. One parking light, or running light. Other one's not working. Huh. I didn't know the headlight switch was on. We got anything in the back? Unbelievable. We got one. We got two. Wow. Do we have a license plate light? Look. What are the odds? Oh my gosh. Wow. That's insane. Got a blinker on. Wow. It's trying. Nothing from the power seat. Alright, let's hook this up and see if we can poke around on this solenoid, see if it'll do something. Usually they're labeled like S. There we go. Look at that. Idler's turning. Power steering pump, fan, alternator. Yeah. Rotate. I don't hear anything. See what the compression is. I bet you it's good. Those cylinders looked way too good. It's coming up. It's at 60. Usually it should hit within a first 2 or 3 cranks, but sometimes these rings need to reseat and all that. See, let's try it again. It takes a while to build up. I mean, we got to 90. It's weird. It's taking it a lot of cranks, but it's just been sitting. Yeah, we got to 120. Taking it a lot of cranks, but it got to 120, so I think it'll run. Yeah, 130. 120. 120. Yeah, it's getting there. Should get there. Oh, whoa. It's pumping fuel. See that? Wow. Pumping gas. I should unhook the fuel pump. Okay, fuel pump unhooked. Got to 90. If you crank it and can ever get it to run, um, once it gets warm, the rings will kind of loosen up and it'll really lock that compression in good. 120. They're all consistent. That's what you're looking for, is consistency. That's really key. And just for funsies, we'll do the last one. Yeah, that one's at 50. Yeah, that one may pick up, but that one's pretty low. We got to 60. It's not good, but we'll have to see what happens to that one. Before we start hooking plug wires back up, let's pop this cap off and just see what's going on in here. A little bit of condensation. Huh. Yeah, this has electronic ignition. I didn't know that. I didn't know, some manufacturers went to electronic ignition or were experimenting with it in different years, but yeah, this one's got electronic ignition, so there's really no points to mess with, so we're just going to hope it works when we hook power up to it. I got to find out where number 1 is on the distributor so I can hook these plugs up right. Dad wants to check the air conditioner and see if there's any refrigerant in it.
I'm betting no. What are you betting?
Either nothing or just a tiny little
just a
breath.
slight amount of air.
Sometimes they'll hold like 1 psi and you'll hear a little breath.
Okay. You ready?
Go ahead and poke it.
Nothing.
The Schrader valve went down, the needle?
Yeah.
No, absolutely nothing in there.
They never even switched it to 134. Still got 12.
There's valves you can put on top of them that convert the hookups to 134.
Take it off. I know. Let's see. Nothing.
About $800 an R12 later, and you could have air conditioning for 5 minutes.
Yeah. I knew it wouldn't have anything in it. But it being a Montana car, maybe they didn't use the air conditioner.
Look at these old tags. I love these old tags. Something guard sales, Arlington, Texas, remanufactured. Oh, it's a remanufactured compressor. R12. I'm trying to see the poundage. Low side 140, high side 300.
I'd say 3.5.
Let's see, yeah, 3.5, 4 pounds. Yeah, usually they'll say like it takes.
But if it's a reman, it won't say it. It'll usually say it. Usually it'll say it
somewhere around here. Well, maybe it could have been there.
Yeah. Sometimes there's a tag on the top of the evaporator.
Okay, well, anyway, it's all right. Not like this car's. It doesn't matter if you had air conditioning anyway.
No.
There's no windshield.
No. Besides, you're not going to need an air conditioner in the crash-up derby.
Dad thinks this is a crash-up derby car.
Derby car.
Yeah, usually
that's what it's relegated to.
We're all about saving everything and not destroying anything, but a car like this, I mean, if it hasn't came up in value in 50 years.
Yeah, 50 years.
Yeah, if this thing had a title and a good windshield and the trunk didn't have a gash in it and everything worked, ran, drove, stopped, what's it worth with a title?
$1,200.
Running and driving with a windshield. $1,500?
Maybe. I even doubt that.
It's a crash-up derby car, let's be honest.
It's a shame.
Yeah, it's a shame. That 400 is worth more than the whole car. Like if so people like those 400s, don't they? I mean, that's a good engine, right?
Yeah. It's 351 modified.
Is a 400 considered a big block on a Ford, or is that still a small block?
I never could quite get them. I never could quite get it figured out. I was always told everybody's going to argue about it. I was told that they weren't as good of a motor. But then some people's going to say they're good. I don't know.
They weren't good, or they were good motors?
Some people say they are, some people say they aren't.
Oh.
I think it was oil pressure. I think they had oil pressure. I thought they had oil pressure problems.
I don't really know much about 400s, and I'm not a huge Ford fanatic. I don't know a ton about all the intricacies of what's good or not, but on Chevy, don't they have a 400 small block Chevy?
Mm-hmm.
That was about as big as it went before big block.
Yeah, it was as big as they went, 400.
I mean, even a 409 was a big block, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the 348 and 409. Those two were just two different animals altogether. They weren't the same as a big block Chevy, and they weren't the same as a small block. They were their own
animal.
They were their own animal.
Okay, well, I guess moving on from that, I did get some spark plug wires, and luckily the distributor does have a number one where it's marked number one, where number one cylinder is, and it goes counterclockwise, and the firing order was like 1-3 something or other. I gotta look it up again, but I made the grave mistake one time. You know, you're not allowed to make mistakes on the internet, and especially on YouTube. People are watching your every move, waiting to say something, and I made the mistake, and it was on a Ford pickup, and coming from GM, it's 1357248, and I wired it up correctly in my head, but it wouldn't run. That's because Fords are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in numerical order, not bank one being odd, twos or even. So anyway, now I know that.
Well, it'll be a miracle if it runs. I mean, they had to have parked it for a reason.
I checked the compression.
What?
Yeah.
You spun it over?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be darned.
Yeah, I checked the compression.
So it's a runner. Maybe.
Yeah. It's got electronic ignition. If that all works, then it should run.
It's got the old blue grommet, I'm sure. Oh, it's a red grommet.
What's that mean?
Is it a California car?
Well, that tag would say something about California emissions, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
California compliant.
I thought that they used the red grommets and California regulations.
Is that what it? So it is a California car.
Yeah, I thought that they used the red grommet in California. So that would stand to reason because it should have a blue grommet in it. When I lived out in California, it was in the early 90s. If your car didn't have that thing on it that said complies to California emission standards,
Yeah.
it was an extra fee of a couple $100
to
register. Yeah. Emissions were done like with independent garages.
Uh-huh.
And back in those days, your EGR valve had to actually work. Arizona's a non-EGR state, but in California, they literally checked all that stuff. So, yeah, all of it. Everything had to work. That was back in the 90s. I'm sure it's even worse now. Even if they would, I'm sure they wouldn't even want this car in the state. Let me tell you the story.
What?
You want to hear the story?
Which story?
My Aunt Mary story.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's the Aunt Mary story. Anything come on?
There we go.
Oh, look at that.
Cool. See if we have power out there to that power box.
Right, turn your right signal off.
Left?
Yeah?
Is the light just staying on?
Yeah. Probably because the flasher's bad or broke or something.
Cool. All right, we got power out here to the coil. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Spark? Wow.
I don't get that one.
Before I try and start it, I'm gonna see how much comes out of the tank. See if we can pull some of that out. So good news is it looks like we can use the tank. It's always easier when you can just have it pull from the tank. You know, it's a mess trying to rig up a jerry can and do all that and have wires everywhere and hoses everywhere and disconnecting factory stuff. It's it's really nice if you can figure out at least a way to make the factory tank work. Yeah. This hose is cracked.
What'd you do with them pliers that you had in your hand? The ones you used on that gas tank?
I'm gonna leave this loose because I want to make sure it's pumping to the front. I'm also gonna have to reroute these heater hoses because I can see the mice ate through them already. There's holes in them. Yeah. So we'll take these hoses off.
Well, them mice, they really wreaked havoc on this old car. I'll tell you what I don't understand is how come these hoses are still pliable? Both these vacuum lines are plugged off, so.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to plug these.
You about ready to start it? We're gonna start it?
Close.
When are we gonna start it?
In about the next 30 minutes.
When are we gonna start it?
So I put some new gas in it, and I'm gonna hook this fuel pump up and just let her run until we get some fresh gas. See, it's still yellow. And that's
Pretty good.
yeah, it smells fresh.
Yeah, I wouldn't pump no more.
Okay, I hooked the fuel hose back up underneath. It goes from the frame of the car to the fuel pump. I put a new hose there, blocked off the heater hose. I didn't put any water in it. Plugs are on. It should be ready to actually crank. I got gas in the gas tank. Just filled that up. Hit the brake pedal, see if there's any brakes.
Well, sorta.
Spongy.
Yeah. Well, they're holding.
Wow, can't believe that.
Yeah, they're holding.
That's nuts.
That's crazy. I don't know how that could be. 20 years.
20, almost 30. Let's just see if it starts without brake clean. Wow. I don't know what that noise is.
Maybe it's the alternator charging.
It stopped. Look at that. Sounds good.
I can't believe that. I'm surprised.
Well, them mufflers, I mean, they're on. They must be on and not rotted out because it doesn't sound loud at all.
Huh.
Wow, that's awesome. That thing started up. That's freaking good. Uh-oh.
Well, that ain't good.
Oh, we got power.
Well, maybe the fuel situation's not good.
Might shut off like you cut the power or something.
I have to see if she's still sparking. Stop sparking.
I guess.
Well, shoot.
So we've been doing some thinking and diagnosing on why it quit, and it's not getting any more spark. And on these, because they have electronic ignition, essentially 90% of the time, if you quit getting spark, it's because of that ignition control module. It kind of looks like a voltage regulator, but it's an ignition control module because it's got electronic ignition. And there's a couple different kinds. I think there's a yellow, a blue, and a red grommet, they call it. And this one, because it's a California emissions car, has a red grommet. Let me show you. From what I've read online, you're not supposed to interchange from the red and the blue. I don't know if they're just saying that you shouldn't or that you literally can't. But luckily, Dad has this. I don't even know where he pulled this out at. But this is a blue grommet one. Okay,
That's
so
the most popular.
this is the more common one, the blue grommet ignition module. So I'm just going to plug it in and see if it works because we have it. If it doesn't work, oh well, I'll try and find a red grommet. Yeah, it won't even plug in because the notch won't match up. See, this notch goes in here to guide it, but this is like a locking notch, and you can see that it's, yeah. See, and then when you have that lined up, these wings won't match up with the notches there. So yeah, it just doesn't want to plug in. I don't know if you could grind that down right there and plug it in anyway. I don't know. We just, let's see, where is it? So we ground this plastic connector part off of this one and just plug the wires in ourselves. The red connector, the power connector, just plugged in, so we'll see if this does something. Alright. Hey, no.
Nada?
No. So I plugged the original one back up and it's doing something kind of interesting. I don't know what to make of it, but. Let off. Do it again. See? See, whenever he hits it, it sparks, but it doesn't spark continually, and then when he lets off, it sparks. Hit it. See? Huh. Alright, it's the next day now. Still trying to diagnose this no spark issue. The tough thing about these cars is because they are early version of electronic ignition, they got like that reluctor wheel, pickup coil, the DuraSpark, that box with the red grommet, they call that like the DuraSpark. It's hard to diagnose which one's doing which one's the issue. You know, you can't see inside them to know what's going on. So, I'm just throwing things at the wall. That's why we tried that blue grommet. And I did some research on some forums last night and about why is it sparking when I let off, like it's momentary spark. There was a guy on a forum that said, well, 2 times I've had that problem and it was the pickup coil. And so I ordered a pickup coil from O'Reilly last night. It just came in. So here's the pickup coil. I got the distributor all taken apart. So we're going to put a pickup coil in it and see if that fixes the problem. I'm really hoping that it's not that box, because those red grommets are like impossible to get. The blue grommets are available. The red ones are not. So it could be the pickup coil. It could also not be the pickup coil, but the pickup coil is at least available to buy. So I'm going to throw this thing in there, put it all back together. We'll see if that fixes our problem. I'm just trying to do everything I can to avoid trying to locate a red grommet DuraSpark box. That's honestly what we're doing. Distributor is all together. Wheel is in there. Pickup coil, cap, everything is on the rotor. So we'll put some juice to it. Pull the coil wire off. Ground it out. See if we're getting anything exciting. Okay, here goes nothing. My DuraSpark box ain't hooked up. My bad. I'm over here playing myself. Hook this up. Okay. Yeah! Look at that! Dude, yes. Fire in the hole. Weird. We lost it again. That sucks, dude. What the heck? I don't know. A second ago, I checked for spark again and I had it. I plugged it back in and now it's running, but I don't know. I feel like it could stop at any moment. If it stops again, just cold turkey, bet you it is that box. But it is a good running engine. We know that, and we know it runs. Throw a little bit of water in it. I'm surprised with all the mice and pack rats that were in here that they didn't eat the radiator hoses, because you know they eat rubber and they'll eat a hole in the hose and then that'll drain the water out, and then I didn't see any holes in the bottom of the hose or anything. Look at that. That's a good motor. Fire up that quick, I don't even think it went 2 revolutions. Go to AC volt. No, I'm sorry, DC volts. Yeah, 12.5. It's not charging. Oh well. Another, see, there it goes. It's that Durspark box, gotta be. It just quit midstream. That's the brains of the operation. What I was gonna say before it quit was another telltale sign the ignition control box is going bad is it'll run and then cut out when it's hot. Car will get hot, box cuts out. But it's cutting out before it even really gets hot. I haven't ran it that long. Alright, so we have a development. So basically that module's bad. We do have a buddy, his name's Dwayne. And Dwayne. He's got a bunch of modules, but they're all blue grommet. But it's playing a game of odds. Is Dad's blue grommet module actually bad? Is that module bad and is Dwayne module's good? Can we get one of his, bring it over, codger it to plug in like we did this one, and it may spark? That's going to be an all-day fiasco. It may work, it may not work. I don't know. But then if it doesn't spark, well, is Dwayne's module bad too? These things are old. So that's just a wild goose chase. Nobody in the country has that red grommet except for Classic Industries. AutoZone doesn't, O'Reilly's doesn't, Napa doesn't. Nobody even shows a listing that's all federal emission. Even Rock Auto only has the blue grommet. Classic Industries had a red grommet. California emissions for, I bought it. It was $114 to have it shipped here, so it's pretty expensive.
Boy, they saw you coming.
I know. But cars at a standstill, like, unless you want to go and switch the distributor to some old points one and swap that out and put an old one in there and re-oldify it, whatever, it's just a lot of work. The least amount of work and time is actually just putting the right module on it. And so I ordered a module, ordered the red one, so we can't do anything with this car right now. We're just gonna have to back it out. I'm gonna work on another video until we get the red one in, and then we'll pick this back up when I get the red one. So we'll see you like sometime next week. That's what it is.
Yep.
Just screwed.
Next time they see us, we'll have a module.
Yeah. Okay, and just like that, it is now a week later, 7 days. It's Friday once again. We've actually filmed an entire video in between when we last saw you and getting this box, which will be a later video. So we got this red grommet box from Classic Industries, okay, and we're gonna put it on. This really shouldn't take that long, you know, and it should fix the problem lickety split if that's it. Look at that. More thorns and thistles and stickers. It never ends with this thing. There we go. So that plugs in like that. All right, well, that's it. It should run. Look at that. It didn't even crank over one full revolution. I gotta put a little
PS in it?
Yeah, power steering.
I can't believe this thing runs that good.
It runs so good. Power steering works. Did I ever really check the tranny? Did we?
You better check it. I thought we did.
Where's the stick?
Oh, no.
Am I looking right at it or what?
Yeah, it's right there.
Where is it? Oh. Yeah, it could use. Oh, buddy, hey. I mean, when you really get down to it, I know it was super nasty and I had to clean it and, you know, put some roller tires on it. But like, what did the car really need to get running? Plug wires? I put a pickup coil on it, didn't even need that. And that box. That's two different parts. And the brakes work. The brakes actually work.
Yeah, maybe when it gets all that pee burnt off of it, it'll smell better.
Yeah, it smells bad. Smooth, it's not vibrating, it's not shaking, nothing. It's not missing. It's hitting on all 8, I can tell you that.
Makes you wonder why someone would park a running car.
Wow.
Look at the door locks. That's impossible.
The electric door locks are working. That's crazy.
Now they're going all the way up and down. Both of them. It's crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. Got some water coming out right here. The hose clamp is tight, so I don't know if the underneath of the hose is split or if the radiator is cracked at the neck. But that's whatever. Water's moving. Just trying to do something. Trying to get some of these shards of glass out of here. gears?
I don't know. I can't go fast enough. Let me go left.
Yeah. All right, so we got one. Well, so far we have one. So far I only feel one gear. So it's park, reverse, neutral, drive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in drive.
Where you want it at?
Back it in next to this. Actually, pull it in next to that white trailer. All right, so as far as the LTD is concerned, I think I did my job, took it out of the desert, got it running and driving, and it already stopped. You know, usually I say we got it stopping, but the brakes actually work in this thing. But what's crazy is ultimately it only needed two parts to get going. It needed plug wires, it needed, well, I put a pickup coil in it, which it didn't really need, and then that control box, that red grommet box. So, you know, pretty tough old engines. The transmission, I don't know why it's not working, and we only get in first. So, but really it's not worth, you know, keep digging deeper and deeper and deeper into this thing, because I'm not putting it back on the road. It's got no windshield. The key switch is all busted out. The shifter linkage is not working, you know. It's just like, whatever. I'm gonna list it for $1,200. If you're interested in it, you can email me. I'll put my email right here. You know, it just takes that special person who's into these cars, who's into these LTDs, who's like their specialty, or that's, people have a niche. You know, everybody likes a certain vehicle. Some people like these, I guess.
And then on top of that, if you're going to derby it, you only need first gear.
Yeah, that's right.
You're never going to get into second gear.
No. Dad's relegated this to a crash-up derby car.
It's a derby car.
Yeah. It takes a special person who's into derby cars to buy this and want it. So,
It's a derby car.
yeah, it's a crash-up derby car, you know. Trunk's all messed up. It's got the lock. I mean, you'd have to re-weld all this, and, you know. It's rust-free, which is, well, the trunk is rust-free, but you'd have to weld that up. Well, like always, guys, Dad and I always appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys' views, your subscribing, your support, your comments, your likes, all that. Very much appreciate all that. It lets us keep doing what we're doing here with these old cars and these 12 valves and flying drives and all that other good business. One thing I do want to mention, duct tape drags. They just announced the dates. David Freiberger heads all that up, and it was September 28th and 29th last year, and it was hot. It was just hot as summer. So they switched it. It's October 18th and 19th, or 17th?
I thought it was 17 or something.
It's like 17th and 18th, or the October 18th and 19th, one of those two. I think it's 17 and 18. We're gonna go. It's our pretty much our only yearly appearance, because all the car events, remember, the United States is very big for our across the ocean watchers. The United States is very big. A lot of the events, Power Tour, all the stuff that happens with Cletus and Cars down there in Florida, and all the other stuff, it's 1,500 miles away. It's too far to even go to. So Duct Tape Drags is awesome because it's sort of a YouTuber event. You know, Derek at Vice Grip Garage goes, Freiberger goes, Dulcich goes, Tony Angelo goes, I go. Pole Barn Garage is going. So all the YouTubers are going, and it's just our time to show up and show out. And we're going to be participating this year a little more heavily. We're actually going to try and go a little faster than normal this year. We got some things planned out. We're both going to be driving 12 valves. That's right. We're both going to be representing the diesel community. So we're going to be there. You guys need to mark it on your calendars, get tickets, and go. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the last thing I wanted to say. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next one.
I'm gonna go home and take this stuff out of the truck, okay? And then